Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be ranking every single zombies map in Black Ops 6 Zombies. We have gone through all of them. We've gone through the entire season, so how did it stack up? Let's just take a look. So the criteria I am ranking this stuff on is based on the general map layout. Like, how good is the layout? Does it flow nicely, or does it feel like a slog to get from one location to another? Is the aesthetic really good, or is the aura really good? That kind of thing. Is there just general fun to be had in the map? Like, is just playing the map just really fun to do? Like, I think that's probably a very important part, because a lot of zombies maps can just feel like they're just made for the Easter egg, or they're just made for high rounding or something like that. Is there a lot of creativity? Does it really feel like you're somewhere exotic, or does it just feel like you're just on the set of something, or does it really feel like you're in a video game? How easy is the high rounding? Like, is round 100 just a snooze, or does it actually take some effort? I know this is modern zombies, so round 100, it doesn't really take a lot of effort in these modern games, but is there at least some effort put into getting to round 100, or can you literally just sit in a corner and watch TikToks the entire time? Is the general map gameplay difficult, like in general, or is it just really, really easy? You can just run in a big circle and never even take damage. How good is the wonder weapon or wonder weapons? Are they unique? Are they brand new? Or are they remade? Or are they just kind of whatever? How good are the Easter eggs? I'm gonna have a completely separate Easter egg ranking guide, but Easter eggs do rank as a factor because they are a pretty decent chunk of my zombies gameplay experience and how much I enjoy maps. Are there cutscenes? And are the enemy varieties really good? Like, is there any sort of repeat enemies, or is the enemy variety really boring, or is it like feel tasteful to the map? So those are the general criteria that I'm going to go over with these rankings. So coming down into the number 6 spot, the worst map in Black Ops 6 Zombies, in my opinion, is the Tomb. The Tomb was such a disappointment. It's a really small map. It's really just like a circle. The only cool area, in my opinion, is the Dark Ether Nexus, and that's just because it brings character and it's, it brings some creativity with the map, but the rest of the map does not feel very creative. For a tomb, what is the tomb even for? Like, what is it a tomb of? Is someone buried there? Is it more of like a catacombs area? What is the tomb referring to? Is it the tomb for the Sentinel artifact or something? I'm not really entirely sure. Yeah, very disappointing, and they just use a lot of Origins nostalgia for like no reason. It actually pisses me off that they just reuse stuff from Origins for no reason. They never explain why the ice staff's there or what's going on with the Origins music. It's absolutely insane to me. The round 100 is an absolute snooze fest. It is too easy. If you just get the ice staff, you can literally just sit anywhere you want and just shoot the ice staff at your feet, and it takes like an hour and a half or 2 hours to get to the boss fight. Yeah, very much a yikes. The ice staff again, like, what the fuck were they thinking? I think they could have done something with the fact that if they brought back every single of one of the staffs, but why just the ice staff? And the ice staff is kind of a poor decision. It just makes the map way too easy, in my opinion. This actually could have been a somewhat difficult map if they didn't just have the easiest camping wonder weapon. I think the only thing they could have done to make this map any easier is if they put the Apothecant Servant in the map, which would have just been hilarious. The Easter egg is just 2 steps. Like, it's such an insult, and there's no intro cutscene and a hilariously bad outro cutscene with like no dialogue, or like the characters are about to talk and then it just cuts to some other camera shot. Like, Sam does talk a little bit, but and I understand with the voice actor strikes and all that, you couldn't really do much, but like, it's just absolutely hilarious to me how bad or how little effort was put into these cutscenes. Archibald was so fucking annoying, dude. I literally have to turn off dialogue in this map. I think they almost tried to make something similar to the general in Dead of the Night's character, but they just completely missed the mark. I forgot his name, but you know. There's too many reused enemies. There's the fucking amalgams, there's the doppelgasts, there's the venoms, there's the vermin, I mean. There's the wasps, there's even the fucking mimics, bro. The new enemy is the fucking mimic. God, give it a rest, please. I'm begging you. So yeah, the tomb, absolutely disgusting map. It's not even like that good for casuals because in my opinion, it's not even like that easy of a map if you don't have the ice staff. And the ice staff, you know, it's easy to get in general, but I don't think a lot of casuals are going to get the ice staff because there is a bit of complexity to it. Especially the upgraded ice staff. Like, the upgraded ice staff is like the only way to really go. I don't really know who this map was made for. It's not made for casuals because it's not that easy. It's not made for Easter eggers because the Easter egg is a fucking joke. And it's really not made for, you know, like is this literally just a camo grinding map? I literally don't understand who this map was made for. So yeah, the tomb coming down at number 6. So coming down into the number 5 spot, we have Liberty Falls. Now, Liberty Falls, in my opinion, is a really good beginner map. It is, in my opinion, really good. Same with D Machine. D Machine was a really good beginner map. It has a pretty good layout with a lot of flow. I was actually surprised how well connected everything was. It is a small map, but still things like the bank where you can open up the ice cream shop and how that flows into there, and how you can go on the roof and then it drops down into the various areas, that kind of thing. And there's like the zip lines that connect the church to the bank, that kind of thing. There's a lot of good flow throughout the map, and it can be fun at times. There is fun to be had on this map. It's just not very creative in my opinion. It literally just feels like a town. It kind of almost feels custom mappy, kind of in the same way as Forsaken, you know, where but you know, I do have to give credit where credit is due with the design. It is very good for beginners. My friends that are very casual, they love Liberty Falls. They think it's their favorite map. Yeah, I'm not gonna judge, but there is fun to be had. It is a relatively easy round 100 though. It's not very difficult. The only difficulty really comes from abominations, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the wonder weapon, actually, in my opinion, has a decent bit of skill to be had. I was really worried at that COD Next event or whatever, where they all played Liberty Falls a little bit early. The jet gun just seemed to be just too easy to use, but there is a little bit of skill to be had with the jet gun nowadays, so that's pretty good. The Easter egg, it's okay. You know, it's very much meant to be easy and simple, not very complex and repeatable. So you know, good. Like, they achieved their goals. They definitely, again, like, when I was saying who's the tomb made for, the Liberty Falls, it's very obvious that they achieved their goals in making the map for casuals, and it's just not for me. You know, I can definitely understand how someone else could like this map. It's just not for me. Intro cutscene is amazing, but what the fuck did the intro cutscene have to do with Liberty Falls? Like, what the actual fuck, man? That intro was so good, but then it did not tie at all into Liberty Falls. I think that's a lot of my disdain for it. And there's barely even an outro. Like, there's a little tiny bit of an in-game cutscene with Panos there. But also another thing is that there's no set crew, and you can definitely feel that the story lacks a little bit. I do definitely enjoy hearing the dialogue in some of these games, but no character dialogue in Liberty Falls. It's literally just Blanchard talking at you. It definitely does feel like a Cold War map, and there's no new enemies either, which really drove me up a wall. You have the Manglers, which are just so fucking annoying and overused. And just kind of side note, I went back and played Gorod Krovi like a week ago, and the Manglers are so overused everywhere else that I forgot they're in Gorod Krovi, dude. Like, I genuinely, and they fit, because they fit so well in that map, but I forgot about it. Anyways, that's just kind of a side note. But also the Abominations. The Abominations, in my opinion, just kind of ruin the map. It just completely ruins the flow. They're just, oh my god, Jesus. They are a threat, though. They are a threat. They are not easy to kill, I should say, but they're also very bullet spongy, which I'm not a fan of. So, Liberty Falls coming down into the number 5 spot. So coming down into the number 4 spot is the Reckoning. The layout is good in some ways, but it doesn't flow as well as it could. I think especially with Tower 2. Tower 2 has a lot of problems, like just getting there. I think there could have been something else to do over there, but it just definitely feels like an afterthought. It's like they put a lot of work into Tower 1, which I definitely do appreciate, but Tower 2 definitely just feels like an afterthought, in my opinion at least. Like it's like, oh, there's multiple towers, shit, we forgot, like, you know, that kind of thing. Some areas do have great aesthetic, but others seem just really random, and like the aesthetic, like you have the lobby, which I really love. I really like the spawn room area. That looks really good. But then you get to other areas of the map and it just feels like you're somewhere completely different, or it just feels like this is the room for this and this is the room for that. And they're, even though they're like right next to each other or like right on top of each other, they don't really mesh well. I don't really know. Round 100 is a little bit harder just because the Wonder Weapon is not as good, but there is some decent strategy to be had, and there is some creativity, but again, it just doesn't feel like they went all the way with it. It definitely feels like they put a lot of, or most of their effort into the fact that there's 2 endings, and there's a good Easter egg. That Easter egg is good, but it still has the 2 endings. But I really wish that they went all the way. Like, there's 2 completely different Easter eggs, like how they did in Black Ops 2. Like, there's the Maxis side and the Richtofen side. Like, you could start with the same base, but then it branches out. Like, I think something they really could have done is, depending on which Wonder Weapon upgrade you got, is which ending you got. So, like, if you got the N or whatever, I don't know. If you got one upgrade, then that means you could do, that kind of led you more into the path of the Sam fight, and the other upgrade could lead you more into the path of the Richtofen fight, that kind of thing. But yeah, good Easter egg with 2 endings. I like the 2 boss fights. There is only an ending cutscene, which is really mid. I think there should have been an opening cutscene, but it also kind of feels like the ending cutscene for Shattered Veil was kind of like the intro cutscene for, I don't know. I feel like they really could have done something. The lack of intro cutscenes in this game just drives me up a wall, man. They did so good with the Liberty Falls intro and the Terminus intro and even the Citadel intro, but then they just stopped making intro cutscenes. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, the outro cutscene was kind of mid. I'm not really like too crazy excited for it. But I do like that the Mecha Klaus enemy and the Commando Klaus enemies are really good. They're really fun to fight, and I do like the idea that they just took the idea of Klaus and really drove it and took it further. I do like that they expanded on that. You know, Mauer Toten is a great map, so they took some aspects of Mauer Toten and they really improved upon it, or they really like took a step further with it, which I am a fan of. You know, you have Android Assembly and all that in Tower 2 and all that, and it does tie up a few loose ends, but it also just kind of steps on their maps. Like, when you really think about it, the entire point of Liberty Falls was just to set up Wonder Weapon upgrades in another map. Like, what the fuck, man? It's like, and also, which ending is going to be canon? I guess it doesn't really matter, but also with Black Ops 7, they're going to just drag that out. Black Ops 7 is, and then hopefully by the time Black Ops 8 comes out, everyone will have forgotten about it and it doesn't matter, so they can retcon it, because there's a lot of retconning in this fucking map too. And if I notice the retcons, then that's how you know you fucked up, you know? Like, I really don't give a shit about the story, but if I'm noticing retcons, yikes, dude. Yikes. I can't even imagine what the story guys have picked up. So yeah, that's coming down into the number 4 spot. So Coming down into the number 3 spot, these are all, the top 3 are all pretty good. I had a tough time deciding, so just know that on any given day, I could switch these around, but I gave it a lot of thought, and this is my number 3. So my number 3 is Citadel. So the reason I put Citadel at number 3, to me, is the layout in general just doesn't feel as good to me. Like, it is a decent layout, and it is pretty good, but there isn't like that natural flow. Like, it really feels like there's only one route to each area. It doesn't feel like, okay, you can, like, if you want to get to this area there, you can kind of pick and choose, like, do this, or like maybe take the fast travel or something like that, or like take this route or go this route. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of natural flow. It definitely feels like, okay, if you want to get from here to here, you have to go this way, right? It just, I don't know. But there is a lot of fun fast travel. I think that's probably a really good part of the map, is the cannon's really fun, and you have the water slide that's also pretty cool. Just the aesthetic isn't as good as I think it could be. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like this, like, what is it, like kind of sunsetty, sunrise, like kind of like early or like late in the day kind of, like, I don't even know, man. And it doesn't really go all out with like the full colors of a sunset or a sunrise. It just kind of feels like the sun is low in the sky and it's just kind of dim. I don't know. It just, I feel like it either could have gone full nighttime or like full sunrise, or just make it daytime, dude. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. Pretty fun map with some pretty creative ideas. The round 100 can be fun and a decent challenge, unless you're doing the oil trap. And the oil trap, I'm not really going to go into that right now, but you know, oil trap is a blessing and a curse, in my opinion. But yeah. So, the great sword wonder weapons are all really fun and creative. The lion sword, the raven sword, the stag sword, the dragon sword, they all have their own purpose, and they all do their own things, and they're all pretty fun and creative. They have really great designs. I think especially after the buffs that they got, like, it's been really good. It has a really good Easter egg as well, good intro and outro cutscenes, stuff like that. I'll go a bit more on the Easter egg in my Easter egg ranking video, but you also have a great boss fight with the Guardian, and then you have the Doppelgast enemies, which are pretty good, but there's also other reused enemies, like the fucking amalgams, man. Like, God, dude, the amalgams need to go. But yeah, Citadel, yeah, coming down at the number 3 spot. So coming down into the number 2 spot, this is Shattered Vale. Shattered Vale is a really good layout, and I really like that it just keeps going. You know, it's a pretty big layout, but it also ties in together pretty well. I think there could have just been a little bit more flow in the mansion. Like, the mansion, it definitely seems like, okay, just go left or right and go through the hallways. You know, I think there could have been a little bit more flow in the mansion, but other than that, it's pretty good. One of my big critiques is the very boring round 100 strat. You literally just sit in the elevator and just spam the Wonder Waff. But you do have the round 100 Z-Rex fight, which is pretty cool. I just wish that there was a calling card for it. But yeah, decent difficulty in general, you know, if you're not just abusing the Wonder Waff strat, but there is a pretty decent difficulty to be had in this map. Lots of tight training areas and lots of tight corridors. There's a lot of wonder weapons to use. Not all of them are good, but some of them pretty decent. I think my main critique would just be that you cannot revert back to the base ray gun Mark II. I really wish you could. Like, yeah, you got all the good upgrades and stuff, but come on, man. Let me use the base version, man. There's no intro cutscene, which is a bummer, but there are 2 cutscenes at the end, one before the boss fight and one at the end, so that kind of makes up for it. And then you also have the Elder Disciple, which is also a really good mini boss, which in my opinion is probably the best enemy they have made. Like, yeah, it's just kind of a variant of the Disciple in Maurer Toten, but you know, I still like the design of it. It's not very annoying, and you can really take care of it, and you can also use it for camo grinding, which is pretty decent. And also, I just want to give a shout out to the music in this map, like the actual, just the, like when you're entering the mansion and all that, that's so cool, and the round change music, really, really cool. I know that's not really part of my criteria, but it really adds to the map. So Shattered Vale coming down into the number 2 spot. So coming down into the number 1 spot, this is my favorite map in Black Ops 6 Zombies. it is Terminus. They hit such a home run with this map. It is absolutely fantastic. It has a great base layout that expands into the islands. Like, you could just have a really good zombies map with just the main area, but then it branches out even further with those islands, which is absolutely incredible. Has an amazing aesthetic. I love just like when you're on the boat and you're just cruising, and then you got the moon just shining on the water, and you got the waves crashing, and then you got the tentacle that comes up. Incredible, absolutely amazing. It's a very fun map. There's a lot of good training spots, and it has a lot of good creativity, especially with the side Easter eggs. This is something that I really was kind of bummed out on, is that they didn't really go all the way with a lot of their side Easter eggs. Like, yeah, you can say you have a lot of side Easter eggs, but they didn't like have that creativity like they do. Like, the pirate Easter egg is super cool, and it gives you a really good reward. There's a couple other good side Easter eggs in a couple of the other maps, but you know, it doesn't really feel like they really had they went all out with it, man. Like, they got a pirate and Easter egg, man, like, come on. And then they got a boat race. Like, I know there's a couple other cool side Easter eggs, but I don't know, I feel like the ones in Terminus really are really cool. The round 100 as well is just not a gimme, and that's because it has a great wonder weapon that actually takes effort to use, which I really respect. So yeah, there's a good Easter egg. It's a really good Easter egg, and a crazy cool boss fight. There's multiple cutscenes. There's an intro cutscene. There is a mid-game cutscene. There is a pre-boss fight cutscene, and then there's 4 cutscenes in this damn map. Like, Jesus Christ, man, they really went all out. The amalgam is really good in this map, but the manglers do not work as much. So yeah, Terminus, absolutely amazing. And I don't know what it is, but like, Terminus just gives me that same feeling that a lot of the BO3 and BO4 maps give me. So a lot of people are like, oh, like nostalgia, blah blah blah, with Black Ops 3, but I am getting that feeling with Terminus. I don't know what it is. And I think just the fact that I still love playing this map, even like way into the life cycle, like we're 10-11 months into the life cycle of this game, and I am getting those feelings that I get when I play the other old Black Ops 3 maps. So that just goes to show, even if someone else might not think like, oh man, I don't like Terminus because of this and this and this, that's totally valid, but also just there's just a feeling I get when I play Terminus, and I still get that feeling. Yeah, so I just really like it. So that is all of the Black Ops 6 Zombies maps ranked. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.